good start, a few wickets falling in the middle, and then a typical Suryakumar Yadav finish with 79 runs in the last 5 overs. That's the kind of mountain that India have left Zimbabwe to climb to deny them a spot in the semi-final in Sydney. India won't be even thinking of that. First place is all that lies ahead. Final total for India, 186 for the loss of 5 in their 20 overs. Look at Suryakumar Yadav. Once again, a half century, but look at that rate. 61 of just 25. KL Rahul was good up front after he's found form in this tournament. A half century in just 35 deliveries. And despite wickets, to a couple of them to Sean Williams, one to Raza, some decent fielding, some good catching from Zimbabwe, India reached 186. Just imagine if they had been shoddy in the field, it could have been even more. Here on Cricbuzz Live, joined by Zahir and Joy. Joy, it was almost inevitable when you got to that last 5 that, and how do you defend against Suryakumar Yadav?
You really can't. I mean, I was seeing the bowlers and they're going further and further outside off stump, thinking that, he won't be able to drag them. And he's going further and further, and he's literally pulling it out from a foot outside off stump, and he's hitting it over square leg 4s and 6s. He's an incredible player. A lot of players before this tournament said that Surya Yadav does very well in Indian conditions. How well will he do out there? And one of the things they don't realize is there are 2 things about Surya. A player like Surya, who's a 360 player, moves around a lot, needs true bounce. Means he needs the pitch to be true. If it's too paced, it's difficult for him to hit shots like that. And secondly, he actually prefers bounce. Bouncy tracks are this because a lot of his shots are getting under the ball, which means he can give them the elevation. So actually these conditions are tailor-made for him, and he's been absolutely incredible. I feel, you look at all the batsmen here, he's been a class above the rest. I mean, he has been the player, batter of the tournament for me, definitely.
4 sixes, 6 fours, 4 sixes, 244 strike rate, and of course those kind of audacious shots that he plays. It's like, I mean, no matter what the bowler is planning, he just throws them off their plans. If you try and defend to that side, he'll find somewhere else to hit.
But that's some serious batting, and all rounds some of the shots which we've seen, like you look at over covers or square leg, which he's consistently hitting, over point, and that straight boundary as well. So he's covered the whole ground, and the whole year. He's been like this right throughout the year, and you understand if you are opening the innings, right? Like, in this format, you've seen all the batters who've made the impact, and consistently you'll see people who have scored runs, usually in that 1, 2, 3 batting order. Suryakumar Yadav for Indian team has been doing the job at number 4, consolidating in that middle overs, and consolidating in those middle overs with the strike rate of 200 plus. So I think that's a luxury. That's a luxury to have a player like this with an impact like him. And he scored what, more than 1,000 runs in this year.
Calendar year.
It's phenomenal. For someone who is batting in the middle order and being the highest run getter so far in this format in international circuit, this is a phenomenal achievement, and shows the ability of a player. Form is one thing, but just the sheer ability to be able to play 360 degrees, understand what are the kind of options which he must be taking, and that's something which has been the hallmark of his year so far. He started his international journey a bit late, and looks like he's in a hurry to break the records.
1,026 runs. There are a few people who get to that figure, but none at a strike rate of 187.
One strike rate of 187. The next guy is 913 odd runs at, I think it's Rizwan, with a strike rate of 120 odd. Then there's Pathum Nissanka. The point of it is, again, so much of this T20 cricket's about batting 1, 2, 3, that I don't think you'll find a single other year where a number 4 or lower batsman is coming in that place and dominating, A, with strike rate, B, with numbers. Secondly, for a player who plays the way he does, look at the consistency. This is third 50 in this tournament. 350s in a tournament where you are expected to come in and take risks from almost ball 1. He's incredible. He's, as they say, he's an outlier. If you look at it in terms of it, the number of runs he's scoring and at the speed he's scoring, at the position he's scoring, there's nobody else in the world.
And what you mentioned from ball 1, I mean, it's something he almost gets teased about at a post-match presentation. Surya, you actually took 2 balls to get set today, and he's more than willing to smile about it. What is it in someone's mindset, apart from the technical preparation, that allows you to do something like that?
Well, I think that only he will be able to explain. But mindset is standing out for sure. For you to be able to go out there, start from the word go, uh, you got to be able to process all the information in the real time as it's happening. Which are the bowlers which will be bowling, what are their options. So I think the preparation is a very big part when you look at Surya and how he's approaching the game. Because if you are not prepared, if you don't know what is bowler going to do against you and what shots he will be able to take to be able to keep up with that strike rate is something which he'll only be able to answer. But from outside, when I'm looking at him, surely there is a lot going in terms of preparing himself. Staying positive is one thing, but understanding which bowlers are going to be bowling at him, what kind of pitch conditions on that particular day is on offer. All those things needs to be processed, and then the execution needs to happen. I think he's in a great zone. He's in a great zone to be able to just do it day in, day out, and do it with such ease.
I mean, there are finishers who probably kind of play the audacious shots because they know they've come with 5 balls to spare. He does the same thing when there's 80 balls to spare.
No, absolutely. I mean, when I first saw him that 2014 season with the Knight Riders, he was the kind of guy who'd walk in at 6 and he'd do what Dinesh Karthik is supposed to do for the Indian team now. But what he's done is he's replicated that strike rate and that attack with an average of 50 at number 4. And that's incredible. And I think that is what is so special about him. He's just completely different in terms of the number of stats, the kind of way he's approaching the game. And also allowing bowlers, the one thing is there are a lot of players who are like this, only hit here and there, but he's driving it past the bowler as well. He's hitting straight sixes as well. And that, therefore, what happens is the bowler can't just say that I'm going to bowl out there, what's he going to do? If I give him the straight ones, he's not going to be able to play it. Because he has the ability to hit straight as well. He has the ability to hit in the offside as well. And so the bowler can never take a chance saying that I will stop that lap and see what he does from there. Because he can hit it from everywhere, and that's amazing.
For all the money, it looked like a total of around 150, 155. And even that, India needed to score at about 10 and over. It's a different matter that with Surya there, they scored at 16 runs and over in the last 5. There you go. 79 for 1 between overs 16 and 20 at 15.8, almost 16. And that's made the difference between a score that's still a decent enough score to defend and a score that you've probably batted the opposition out with.
Absolutely, I think that's that 11 to 15 over was when wickets were falling, and then you had to absorb that pressure. Hardik and him, Hardik was just going at run a ball, but he didn't have to go hard because the way Surya was batting at that stage was just about giving the strike to him, and Surya did it fantastically well. Look at that partnership. And the partnership still stands of lot of value.
Same number of balls both faced.
Yeah,
exactly, because you got to be able to absorb that pressure, and because you had lost wickets, you had to kind of consolidate also at that stage. So you don't want both the batters taking the risk, and Surya was just in his zone to to get the team to the total, which is definitely a winning total on this track.
But he still needed a bit of a platform. I mean, it's one thing to finish an innings, but the way KL Rahul actually set the platform after the loss of Rohit Sharma's early wicket, Kohli was around the strike rate just in excess of 100. So KL Rahul needed to play that first half of the innings.
No, absolutely. I think KL Rahul, and that's what I'm saying. Today you had two very good supporting casts. You had Virat giving you 25 of 25 when Rahul was going, and then you had Hardik giving you 18 of 18 when Surya was going. And I think those two were also vital innings to make sure no further wickets don't fall. There's stability so that the person on that end can take risks without worrying about loss of wickets. And I think that's, so when did India really slow down? When wickets fell. So till wickets fell, India never slowed down. That 5.8 came at the period where we lost those 3 wickets. And I think that's what it tells you, that Hardik hanging around and Virat hanging around was also very important for India. And of course, KL Rahul has again played himself into form, 2 consecutive 50s out now. That's also fantastic news for India, because the way they look at it is saying, okay, now these 2 guys are also in form.
Yeah, take your pick if you're England. But Zimbabwe had their moments. They certainly had a couple of outstanding catches. They bowled decently to start with. Just imagine, 186 on the board, the first over of the innings was maiden. So effectively, they've got it in the last 19 overs. But they really were disciplined in patches until they ran into a character called Suryakumar Yadav, who you can't really bowl to. If you have a look at that, Ryan Burl, of course, stood out more for the catch than anything else. But Sikandar Raza, run a ball. Sean Williams, 2 wickets. So between Raza and Williams, they really put the brakes on, and I thought Tendai Chatara as well had showed the discipline.
No, absolutely. Up front, he bowled well. Even Nangarava's first over was excellent. I think this isn't. They didn't bowl badly. I even say that somebody like Blessing Muzarabani didn't bowl badly. The problem is because he gets a lot of bounce. The ability of people like Surya and all to get under that bounce is what was his failure. Because if you don't get the Yorker, anything else, he's able to get under it and give it elevation. And I think they just couldn't look. They didn't know where to bowl to a batsman like Surya. But how many bowlers in the world know where to bowl to Surya? I mean, it's not something that's common information.
But in the same innings, we saw 2 very different kinds of half centuries. Surya, which leaves you gasping, and KL Rahul picking up from where he left off in the previous innings when so many questions were being asked, just showed that not about a fluke, but just showed that it was not that he's just made in 1 off 50. He is back.
Well, I mean, with KL Rahul, you've seen this always. Once he's among the runs, he can really make it count, and that consistency is seen. So good for Indian team right now that he's scored 2 back-to-back 50s, and he's in the right mindset to be going into the semi-finals. When you look at Zimbabwe's bowling, actually, I will not be disheartened to see this kind of a bowling card. They've put it out there, everything, whatever they could. I think if you're in Zimbabwe camp right now, you just got to just accept the fact that there's a sheer ability of batters which has been able to score off you. As plans, as how they were approaching the bowling was spot on. The best chance they had was to pick wickets. They created that kind of a scenario, but then you have someone like Surya who's in such a form, who has taken the team to that kind of a total. So I think from this World Cup, when it comes to bowling, Zimbabwe has had a good outing every time they've gone out there. In terms of the plannings also, like you could see today, the plan was right to just keep the ball away from Surya's arc. It's just that he was good enough to be able to go out there and still connect it and hit it for a 6.
Well, innings obviously is underway. It just took 1 ball for India to create the first bit of damage. Wesley Madivere to a swinging ball from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar straight to Virat Kohli, almost straight to Virat Kohli at short cover. That's not for 1. Doesn't help chasing 187. In terms of our predictions, Zahir Khan gets that spot on.
Well done.
in that range of 180, 185. So just 1 run extra. It looked like Surya could take it away from you as well if he was given another couple of overs somewhere. But spot on there. All we know is Zimbabwe have quite a mountain to climb. Just 9 wickets in hand now. Already India into the thick of things. We'll see where we stand at the 10 over mark. We of course will be back with Cricbuzz Combox. For now, that's all we have on Cricbuzz Live.